Okay, alright. So, it's been like 4 months since I've made a video at all, in any capacity. And I decided I might as well show off a bunch of glitches and skips and stuff that I found over the summer. So the first one that I found is episode 1, level 2. I'll get back to you. I'll be back once I actually get to the point where the skips are. So, see you in a bit. Alright, so coming up right here, this little enemy gauntlet. I do not want to fight these enemies. And I noticed that, oh hey, this railing's kind of close to that other ledge, where the back end of that elevator is not closed off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to there. It doesn't help, though, that for some reason, this little area over here just has like a giant ceiling hitbox, and I don't know why. But it does help that Fred football player's jump is ridiculous, and also ledge compensation, but it's really fucking hard to do. It saves time, an oodles and oodles of time, but the game doesn't like me. The camera also sucks poop, and also hates you. Basically, when you're trying to do this, everyone hates you. Enemies, game, like everything that can hate. There we go. See, that's what I wanted to do. And then you just wait for Daphne to show up over here. Hopefully. You're just gonna wait over here. Normally, there we go. Something like that. Usually, Daphne will Daphne. A bit. Okay. There we go. Okay. Took a little bit, but I did do it. Trust me. That does save time if you do it optimal. So, there's another thing in this level. I'll see you when I get to there. Every single... Alright, so right up here is another skip I found. It's kind of wacky. You can jump on those gears, and that will allow you to get Fred over there faster. It'll save, I want to say, like 10 seconds, and also any time you might potentially lose from the AI being pee-pee. Maybe not that much, but like it will save you time. I mean, that's really all there is left in this level. I mean, you could always do that, but I would think you would do that, but there's an invisible barrier there, so you can't, unfortunately. So yeah, that's all there is for this level. Next episode, nothing left to talk. What? Oh, okay. Pause there, and I shouldn't have been able to pause. Interesting. Alright, so coming into episode 2 here, didn't really find anything for any percent for level 1. I am planning on making another video on like the stuff I found that could be useful for 100%, which, by the way, the stuff I found sub 5 is basically free. Episode 2, level 2, I found a couple of interesting, not a couple, just like really one very interesting thing. I'll get back to you guys once we get to that point. Alright, so coming up right over here, there's an interesting thing that actually was originally found by Zoroark Films. Yeah, that guy. Interesting little out-of-bounds thing. You can go up here. And I found this other skip, which where basically you have to jump down from there onto the balls, right? Except I don't need to do that anymore, which, thank God, because the skip was 8s. It was actually 8s. And since you can get Velma up here, then that's cool, I guess. It also skips out the new Daphne pole, which is slightly slower, if you know what you're doing. That's really all for that level. Alright, so coming up here, 2-3. This level has a ton of new stuff that I found in it. So, stuff that's probably going to save the most time. So, weird thing I want to talk about real quick. I don't know what happened, but basically, Fred, like, I don't know, I was using Fred and I was on a car, like, blue car, and I think, like, the ragdoll enemy, like, did its, like, charge attack or whatever at me, and for whatever reason, when I pressed forward, I think slightly after or something, I got a ton of speed and got flung, like, a bajillion miles forward, and it would have been helpful or something if I wasn't going so fast that I just clipped through the ground. And I respawned because Out of Bounds has a giant death plane around it. I don't know how I did it, and I don't know if I can recreate it. Yeah, I don't know what I did. I have no idea what I did. I just got flung a million miles away, and I don't know how to recreate it. I forgot to mention about the weird thing, the massive, that Fred launch was crazy. I got Fred light speed mega fast. So this game does a weird thing where, like, when you get far enough away from enemies or go to a certain past a certain point, then the enemies in the point before that or whatever basically become sort of unloaded, where like they won't move anymore. And that's what all the enemies, the state all the enemies were in. And it would have been kind of cool to have that for the rest of the level, except it wouldn't let me move on. Or rather, it wouldn't let me move after that. So that's great, I guess. Right here is one of the coolest things. So this area, you have to defeat 12 of these enemies. However, you don't have to, because this game, as I mentioned before, this game has absurd ledge compensation. So right here, if I were to be able to get enough height, I could jump into this pipe. This thing's kind of close, but not close enough. However, ledge compensation in this game is ridiculous. So if I time it just right, I can get enough height to be able to, I can get far enough and be able to jump and get into that pipe and skip it entirely. Which is honestly really cool and can save a lot of time. So it's not even that hard either. You just need to time it correctly. It's just that simple, folks. Alright, so here in this area, the clue hunt area, there's a little small optimization I found that lets you get one of the clues a bit faster, excuse me. Right here, boom, you can get this clue way faster than the method that I originally had. Not way faster, but just that little bit faster. You know, gotta optimize, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, that's not really... There's a little bit something at the very end of this level, which we'll get to in a bit. So I'll see you there. You gotta jump as late as possible for that bad boy. Excuse me, what? Game, you want to run that one by me again? That was kind of the triple jump I was talking about. So I don't know what it is about this game, but there's a weird thing that happens where you can kind of just like get a triple jump because of like some weird things with the physics. I think it's like it thinks you're on a slope unless you jump, but then for some reason the game also thinks you're on the ground. I need to try and recreate that though, because I need to be able to get a consistent setup because like that's too fucking cool. Yeah, right there. That. I don't know if you saw that. Right there. Right there. Shut the fuck up, Fred. This is more important than that lever will ever be. And you know that. Right that. I don't know how that works, but it just does. It just works. It just works. That's cool. It's really hard to trigger, and it might not be worth it, but it's a thing that exists. So just keep that in mind, I guess. Now here's a skip that I actually know will happen. This can save a bit of time. You jump from here. Yeah, you jump from that railing. You can get up there and end the level a little earlier. See, that's 2-3. That was a thing. All right. So there's only really one thing in this next level, level 4. It cuts down a bit of time, but it's really, really hard. Jorg was complaining about how he didn't want to do it, and I fully agree with him because it's really, really hard, but it saves time, so might as well show it. So I'll get back to you guys once we get there. Alright, so here's the bullshit right here. First, you gotta get... Oh, fuck you. You gotta get up here, and then you gotta get this... Oh, I got it first try. You get that guy to boink you, and then you go behind this door. I genuinely did not expect to get that first try. Oh my god. I genuinely... That was amazing. So you get up there, and then you get that guy, that little egg turret guy, or something, to, like, shoot a missile at you. And then that missile will propel you upwards so you can go above where they actually put collision for the door. You can go behind the door and then hit the loading zone and skip that entire confrontation, which normally takes a little while. I think that was it. Pretty sure that was it. I think we're good. Okay. That's really all for episode 2. So we're going to go on to episode 3, level 1. So see you when we get to interesting things happening. So right over here, we got a little skip-a-rooney here. Now normally, I would try and jump up from something over here onto there as Fred, try and skip this box. However, there's a much better way of doing it, which is to jump from this thing here, that barrel right there, use ridiculous ledge compensation, and then just kind of hop and skip our way up there. If I can do this correctly. There we go, right up here. And then Harsh kind of found this right here, where you can jump from this thing all the way over to here. So Harsh, jumping from the slanted roof is not necessary. You can just, that's what I meant by there's a faster way to do it. You can just kind of jump from the fence over to a small bit of the roof of the building you're trying to get to. It's pretty cool. Okay, so this little bit, this is where Harsh found Fred Launch. However, there's a significantly faster way of doing this, and I mean, you might have already seen it, but like it exists. So right here, jump on this thing, just jump on this thing and then boom onto the crate. Significantly faster. Still looking into Fred Launch possibilities though. The neat little skip over here. I don't know if I did this in a run or not. But it lets you skip the lever and the garage and the little cutscene that involves like opening the garage and yada yada yada. It's a whole process that you don't have to actually partake in. Yeah, that's really all there is to this level. There's not really much else. It's a lot of stuff, cool stuff, but that's really it. Next level, level 2. This one has some shenanigans in it. Okay, so right here I found this really cool thing. So, Zero, she's pretty cool. She mentioned this idea she had of like skipping like cutscene triggers, right? So I decided to test it out here. Like I said, I tried to test it out here, and yeah, that concept holds true. These guys are part of a cutscene. They're supposed to walk onto the bridge and then fall, and it's like, oh, haha, they fell. But by doing what I did, it saves a little bit of time and means you don't have to watch the cutscene. So that's pretty cool. I know what the double jump. See this slope? See this slope right here? Yeah, it gives you this weird jump animation when you're running across it. And for some reason, they didn't actually properly check if that animation is fine with the game. It only happens when you're running down a slope. So if you can trick the game into thinking you're running on a slope, then you're golden. Look at that. Triple jump. So coming up right over here is a very small optimization. Saves. I timed it, mentally, more or less. It saves about 2 seconds. You jump up here, you jump up there. So basically, you jump up from here, that crate, onto this little, wire thing. You jump onto this little pole here. And then, fucking goddammit. You jump onto the pole here, and then you jump onto there. It saves about 2 seconds, which is, cool, I guess. Definitely worth all the pain and strife. Do it at your own peril. It's a bit risky, and it doesn't make any sense. Alright, so right here, I found a bit of optimization for collecting the clues. Fucking bitch. Right here, you can just jump up to there and not have to use Daphne for that, specifically. And then if you do this here, you have the potential to deal a little bit of damage to the boxes, the barrels, rather. The one that has the clue, so it saves a tiny bit of time since it's for the screen scrolls. And, yeah, that's it. That's really all there is. So, that's 3-2. Next up is 3-3. So, first bit, there's not really that much interesting to, that I knew that I found. There's not really much interesting new stuff in this level, specifically. There is a couple of shenanigans here and there, couple wacky things here and there. Like that little thing right there. Alright, so here's the bit I wanted to show off. So this little bit right here, I've found a couple of optimizations for collecting these clues. So right here first, see, the clues have an abnormally large hitbox, so you can just kind of jump up and grab them when you're not even remotely touching them, like here. Another interesting thing I found in this little bit right here is they put this one clue a little bit too close to the door, so you can just run at it as Scooby and collect it through the wall. Impeccably coded video game. Thank you. Who made this shit? Who is the names? Taurus Games. Thank you, Taurus Games. Very cool. Okay, so that's episode 3, level 3. That's pretty cool level. Yeah. So that's episode 3. There's not really much else to say there. Alright, episode 4. Here's where some interesting things happen. So, level 1 doesn't really have anything. Level 2 has some interesting stuff. It's pretty wacky. I think at this point in the game, here's the thing. There's a fair amount, a decent amount of like jumping over a blocked wall to get to a loading zone, like we saw back in episode 2, level 4. Here, you can just jump onto this lantern, and then jump again, and you go over it, and you hit the loading zone. Boom. Skip something to fight the gargoyles, which is great, because the gargoyles suck cock. Anyways, clues. Gotta get the clues. Gotta solve the mystery, you know what I'm saying? Little optimizations here and there. Just grabbing that thing instead of using Scooby-Doo or stuff like that. Not really much else to talk about. I'm really itching to get to the last level we're going to be talking about here. Or not talking about, just like I'm going to be showing, because like it's got some stuff in it. It's got some whack stuff in it. It's crazy. Yeah, just like some little optimizations here and there to get these clues. Always forget about those. Yes, that's really it for this level. Not really much else to say or do. So, last level we're going to be talking about 4-3. 4-4 doesn't really have anything, unfortunately, which really makes me sad because that level is so long and so tedious, and it takes forever, and I don't like it. Right, so this level has some wacky stuff in it, and we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so right up here, this, camera please, this little thing here, so normally, this little bit right here, you normally have to do this. You have to go up, you have to be up here, you gotta, like, do a Velma terminal, and then you gotta ground pound this, and it'll send a little minecart here, and I'll go down this little track, and I'll knock into the thing, and you gotta do that 3 times. It takes forever, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to jump up to here, jump up to here. Right. Please. So you kind of like, jump up there, and you jump over to the left, and then you'll hit the loading zone. And then you go through here. A little bit sloppy there. But I still did it, so that's all that matters. So I still in the end, I still win. Fuck you, game. You're a bitch. That's really all there is. So new skip wise, that's really all I've got. Just a bunch of small optimizations and a bunch of pretty big ones. So yeah, that's gonna do it.